Say probably the last two games, Kyle has had a lot of missed tackles and just hasn't finished to the ball like he's finished in the past, and just being productive as he's getting the ball. So, and he knows that he's I think in the last two games he's missed 3 or 4 sacks, and so he just needs to break down, be a little more physical when he's making contact, and get those guys down the ground. And then really happy with the way Alani played on Saturday or Friday night. Played a great game of space. They try to attack our perimeter a lot with screens, and just did a great job of making plays out there in space. And so really happy with the way he played. And then Spencer just continues to be the guy that's just trying like crazy every single play, and his effort helps him make a lot of plays. And so I would say overall, I was pretty ticked off after I thought they could have played a little better Saturday or Friday night, but wasn't one of our better games as outside linebackers, but I thought Alani was the highlight of the game.
As far as Kyle goes, is that a symptom of him trying too hard, trying to leave his feet and go too hard? Or?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that go with it. I think he's a little tired. He's played a lot of snaps up to this point in the game. I think he's played more snaps up to this point this season. Well, once we play the Wisconsin game, he will have played more snaps in 9 games than he did in all of last season. So that's just the nature of the beast with the offense, and kind of we're getting more plays that way. But I think he's a little tired, and his pad level's up a little bit. When he's making plays in space, he's just too high, and needs to break down and have a little better base. But I think a lot of it just goes to him being tired, and I think he can do a better job of rotating him, getting him out, and giving him some rest.
You mentioned Fua and just this breakout performance that he's been having over the last few games. Is this the next great BYU linebacker in waiting here?
There's not a next. He is one of the best great outside backers, buddy. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, he's just played just as good as Spencer and Kyle has throughout the whole season. So I don't think is he the next great one. I mean, he's in the same grouping as Kyle and Spencer is right now. And so it's just great. Today we're just talking about it's great that he's a junior and we still have another year to get him back next year. And so with Kyle and Spencer leaving, it'll be a huge benefit for our defense to have that guy back.
Is there any thought to putting weight on his frame?
Oh, yeah. Man, we've been trying to do that for 3 years, man. Shoot. Heck yeah. And I think he came into camp at 225, but he has a really hard time keeping weight on. And it's just, I think, a lot of genetics things. And he's been with our nutritionist and really been trying to keep it on, but just he has a struggle with it. And so just get in the off season again, get him back in the weight room, get him with the nutritionist, and get that weight back on. And hopefully, I think he ended the season last year at about 210, and then he came into this camp at 225. And I think right now he's at about 218. And our goal by next season, hopefully having him around 235, 240. But which I think is reasonable. I think we can get that done. But he just has a hard time keeping weight on, and that's something we'll continue to work on.
He's got really good hands, it seems like to me. Could he play offense?
He could play tight end, yes. And we've talked about that, but we'll just keep him at outside backer. I'll be selfish and keep him at my spots.
How much of a battle was it for you to say, hey, I want to keep my outside linebacker, not have him go tight end? Did you have those conversations?
Not at all. It was a very quick conversation. Trust me, it didn't last very long.
You put the foot down pretty quickly.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Which position group is the onus on to stop Wisconsin's pounding running game?
I think that's going to go mainly just with the front seven, just our D linemen, which I thought we made huge improvements with some guys that we got in there this last game, but it would be just our D linemen, outside backers, and inside backers.
Thinking back to your playing days, you were part of some seasons where you started a little bit slow and then picked it up as the year went on. Does it feel similar just as far as what you're watching from the guys?
I mean, really similar. The 2 years that I was here in 06 and 07, both seasons, I think we started 1 and 2 and then went on a 10-game winning streak in both of those years. And so just very similar. Just the difference this year is we're playing better teams down the stretch. And so it's just one game at a time. We got Wisconsin, and that's what we've been saying ever since the Utah game. That's been the motto. Just don't worry about, way down the road and what we have in November. It's just one game at a time, and that's what we've been telling our guys. And, I know it's a really cliche thing to say, but it's helped us. And took on Middle Tennessee State and then went to the next one, and now it's to Wisconsin. And that's all we got to worry about right now is doing whatever we can do to help our team perform to come out with a victory against Wisconsin. That's what we're preparing for today and tomorrow and Thursday. And we'll just continue to work on beating the Badgers on in 2 weeks.
When you were playing, was there a lot of thoughts like, boy, man, we just barely missed out on, because that Arizona game and some barely close misses in some of those early games? Or was it basically just, it's in the past, we can't do anything about it?
I think a lot of it it's more of the end of the season. You think about, man, what if they would have missed the field goal versus Arizona? What if the defense would have showed up versus Tulsa in 2007? One of those deals. But it's just part of the deal, man. Sometimes I think without the Virginia game this year and really without the Utah game this year, we don't have the success that we've had the last 5 games. I think those games have helped us define who we are and become the team that we are right now. And so sometimes you have to go through those growing pains to help your team succeed as the season goes on.
Was that the same when you played?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Shoot, I mean, we had Max Hall was a sophomore quarterback that never played a game before, and we go into UCLA, and he's never been on the road before, and we should have beat him. And then, Tulsa the next week was a crazy game. But yeah, I would say sometimes those younger quarterbacks like Taysom have to go through those growing pains to have success, down the road.
There was a lot of talk in the fall camp whether this defense was going to be as good as last year's. Through 2/3 of the season, how would you?
I would say we're not stopping the run as good as we did last year, but we are, I think, doing some things better than what we did last year. I think overall, I think we're covering the pass better, but we're just defending more plays. That's the bottom line. Is if you look back at the number of plays we've defended, we're defending 30 more plays this season a game than what we defended last year. So we defended, I think, on average last year 60 plays a game. Right now, I think we're just under 90. And so, really, that's the bottom line. That we're just playing way more plays, and so the yardage might be more, but really the yards per play are almost identical.